Greg turned the floor over to Rob. We only train once or twice a month, but we've been at it longer than you guys in Silver Hills. We have 28 people in our security detachment. Since the burst, we've had some newcomers want to join, but so far we haven't felt we needed them. Plus, they don't have our group standard equipment. Rob's opening statement had created several questions in Mark's mind. But before he could verbalize them, Jim jumped in. How long have you been at it? Well, Greg started developing our subdivision 4 years ago. Most of our residents have been there and training with us for at least 2 years. 2 years, Mark exclaimed. I wish we had that kind of time under our belts. You said something about group standard equipment? Every homeowner has a list of standard equipment they agree to buy as soon as possible. That's part of the agreement they make when they buy a lot from Greg. It includes things like weapons and radio we use for security force. They also agree to spend a certain amount of time per year training with the group, Rob explained. Mark could see the raised eyebrows on the faces of his friends. Gunny asked a question. So what's your standard weapons? First are an AR-15 and a Glock 17. Every adult member of the family needs at least those two, plus ammo, magazines, and web gear. After that are optional things like M1As and Mossberg 590s. Plus every family has to have at least 2 GMRS radios. Rob went on to explain that they trained as a group on weekends, sometimes for just a few hours, and sometimes for the whole weekend. Mark was beginning to see these people had done before the burst what they had done in Silver Hills since the lights went out. He couldn't imagine how they had gotten a group to agree to all this stuff before it became so obviously needed. He mentioned this fact to the men from Lavernia. Greg explained that he'd become concerned about the Y2K bug in 1998. He said he found a network of survival groups on the net and that some of these people had helped him develop a plan. His business was as a rural real estate developer allowed him to take one of his projects and turn it into a haven for like-minded individuals. He and some friends, including Rob and Kurt, were the first to move into Promise Point. After the Millennium Bug turned out to be nothing, they felt it was prudent to stay prepared for any other kind of disaster. Boy, are we glad now that we did, he said. You sound a little like our old boss, Reginald Davis, Mark stated. He saw Greg and Kurt look at each other. Do you know him? Not personally, Kurt answered, only by reputation. Some of the folks who helped us get started tried to help him as well. I didn't know you two worked for him. You said they tried to help him out? Jim asked. According to what I heard, Mr. Davis isn't always receptive to the ideas of others. I hope this doesn't offend you since you work for him, but he tends to be a hardliner with his group. Greg was almost apologetic. I don't think we work for him anymore, Mark laughed. We noticed the hardliner thing and told him that we didn't want to stay at his ranch. He lost it. He truly could not believe that we had turned him down. He never said the words, but it was clear to Jim and me that we didn't have jobs anymore.